Hello and welcome to episode 275 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm
And I'm
Brian,
James.
and we uh got Modern Horizons 3 official spoilers after there was a leak and Wizards felt bad.
Something like that. Yeah, what a weird situation.
Yeah, we can't have this traffic going to Reddit. Must come to the mothership.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk
So
about today.
we're gonna talk about this. Um, so I guess those spoilers are gonna start soon. Uh, So if you have anything you want us to talk about, though we have kind of fallen off the modern train a little bit,
A little bit.
you can get at us on social media, Facebook, Discord, Twitter, all that jazz, the emails,
Mm-hmm.
and come say hey, give us some suggestions for shows, or just interact.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple weeks before we'll have more Modern Horizons 3 stuff. So if there's anything you guys want to hear about, now is the time. I have to remind you, though, that this isn't relevant for just Modern because these are coming to Arena.
Oh, they are. That's right.
So we will be able
The
to
whole
play
set.
them in Historic/Timeless.
Yeah.
It seems like I haven't spent a ton of time in Timeless, but it seems like the digital cards are kind of overshadowed by real Magic cards that are very powerful. So,
Yeah,
for
there's
whatever
a
that's
few
worth.
that get played.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they've not made a digital card that is better than show and tell.
Right. Correct.
They-
But yeah, so if you got any ideas for shows, hit us up. If you're looking to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, casualtryhard.com/TCG. Follow that link on over to TCG player, and anything you purchase will help to support the show. We would appreciate that. If you want to support us more directly, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. Go over there, you can chip a couple bucks in and get access to our show notes. And you also get access to our pre-show, about another hour-ish of content out of us every week about all manner of topics. So if you want more of us, that's a way you can do it. Or if you just want to support the show, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg and help us out.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Modern Horizons 3, like the perpetual hype train never stops.
Woo-hoo!
Always rolling. Yeah, so this comes out in a couple months. I guess it's the summer set.
Official release
more or
is
less?
June 14th.
Okay.
I think they said official spoilers start May 21st and end the 31st, I think.
Okay. So we're to that like 10-day spoiler season.
Yep.
Which like kind of makes sense when you're releasing so many sets. You can't spend like didn't they used to be like 2 or 3 weeks of previews.
They were at least 2 weeks, yeah.
And it's just gotten crunched down to be like, hey, we got to get this one out the door so we can get the next one started.
That's right.
So it'll be a lot to digest, and if these cards are any indication, there will be a lot of stuff on the cards to try to parse.
Definitely.
When they come out.
Some bizarre cards that we're going to be talking about now.
So we got these, as we kind of mentioned. Someone leaked the cards last week at some point. I saw some tweets about like, oh, hey, there's like Modern Horizons 3 leaks going on.
Yeah, I saw I didn't see anything last week. I saw stuff like over the weekend. I saw a couple cards.
Okay. I didn't find the cards, but I could swear that like Saffron Olive was like, oh, hey, there's like a leak.
Oh, maybe.
And blah blah blah, like on like Tuesday or something of last week, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, could be. I guess instead of sending goons out like they did last time, they to collect the leaked product. Well, although I guess we don't know that they didn't do that also. But maybe to save face, they came out with, I don't know if you really call it an article today, but it's a tongue-in-cheek poke at the leaks, and they just gave us like the card images. From what I can tell, they didn't give us all of them. They gave us a good chunk of them, but I don't think it's all of the leaks. Some of the stuff that people like didn't have the complete card for, because some was like, just a little out of frame or obscured by something. Those
Yeah.
cards I don't believe they gave to us. So it was just cards that were completely spoiled, I think, or leaked.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna give you just what we have to.
Yep.
So yeah, so we're gonna go over those and see what is neat.
Sure.
So there's some new cards as to be expected, and then like the new to modern cards.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not 100% sure. We know that Modern Horizons 3 is going to be play boosters because everything has moved to play boosters now.
Yes.
And play boosters have bonus sheets.
They do.
I found one website that seems to think that all of the reprints, because there's two different kinds of cards that we get in Horizon sets. We get brand new cards, and then we get new to the format reprints. So things that will be like ported into Modern from Legacy. And one of the sites that I found said that the reprints are on the bonus sheet. I don't know if all of the reprints are on the bonus sheet or if the bonus sheet is just reprints or what exactly that means, but that was a bit of information that I don't think I was aware of.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
But
me neither.
We will find out sooner or later.
So how you want to do this? Just start at the top and
we just start at the top. Like you said, you have it kind of like each card. So some of them we've already talked about. Like we already talked about a Johnny a while back, so we can skip my boy.
Yeah.
But we do get Orum's Chant.
Yeah. This is
so Orum's Chant is an oldie from Plane Shift.
Plane Shift. Yep.
Yeah. So what does it do?
It's 1 and a white. Hang on, let me see if I can fix this.
It's just a white.
Oh yeah. Sorry. It's a white mana for an instant, and it has kicker for a white. And target player can't cast spells this turn, and if it was kicked, creatures also can't attack. So it's like a super silence.
Mm-hmm. And like a preemptive fog.
Yep.
So Saffron Olive talked about this today and then reminded me of Scepter Chant.
Mm-hmm.
So Isochron Scepter, where you imprint a spell and then you can pay 2 mana and cast it.
Yeah.
And like you can pay the kicker on this when you do it. So it's like 2 and a white, your opponent is time walked.
Yes. They can draw a card and play land.
And then they go. So yeah, this is one of those cards that's like it either doesn't do anything,
right,
or it is like miserable. Why did you put this in the format?
Well, let's hope for not do anything then.
Yeah, like it just doesn't like kind of like was it Solitary Confinement?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, either Enchantress is like really good and then like no one gets to play Magic.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't do anything, and it seems like it is like Fringe doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like a good thing.
Yes.
But it's just like, why did you think this one was okay?
And hopefully it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yep.
But this card is like a kind of classic with like a long like tournament pedigree, like back in Extended and back in the day.
For sure.
So, all right, what's up next?
Then we have Philia Exuberant Shepherd. 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary dog with flash. And when it attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Philia. So
on the dog.
Yeah, on this.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So one, not a dogologist.
Right.
But that does not look like a shepherding dog.
I mean, it looks more like a rabbit to me, but
okay. I mean, the other art in like the main Saffron Olive pointed this out, and I agree. Kind of giving corgi vibes.
Yep. It also looks kind of like loot.
Kind of, yeah.
It's weird.
Dude, they gotta move plushies.
That's right.
Hasbro cannot keep afloat unless Wizards moves plushies
That's
in
right.
addition to cards.
Chad says, "Yo,
Bro,
yeah."
these idiots like squishy things. Bro, what are they gonna do when they're playing arena? They gotta pet the dog.
Give him the squish.
Give him the squish.
Yep.
I don't know why this. I do and I don't like this card having flash. Just feels weird,
Yeah, super weird.
right? Like flash doesn't really do anything with its ability.
Yeah, that's really
It's
strange.
not like on ETB or attack.
Yeah.
It's just on
Just
attack.
on attack.
So like
It does
I think
kind of
the
give like
joke
pseudo
is,
haste though.
yeah, like the joke is exactly like end of your turn. I flash in my dog so it can attack.
Yeah.
Can hopefully you attack because this is a 2/2 and like
Right.
every creature in Modern eats it.
Yeah.
But like you can blink their stuff, so like if they leave back a blocker,
And blink it out of the
you
way.
can like get in there and make stuff happen.
Yep.
Oh.
What's the matter?
There's like it's the back of your chair.
Oh.
Okay, I was just like, what is
Sorry.
That's right. No, I was just like, what is on the screen? So like, yeah. The problem is like a 2/2 that has to attack to do anything.
Right.
Like does not seem like a modern playable card. Like in Death and Taxes plays some real doo-doo.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't think that this is
I mean, is there a reason why you would play this over like
Flicker Wisp?
well, I was gonna say Soul Herder.
Oh. I think Soul Herder is probably just better.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like an extra color of mana, but I think it's just like a better card.
Yeah, it's like the colors you want to be in though.
Yeah.
The only upside this has is blinking your opponent's stuff, but I don't know, like, what are your opponent's stuff do you really want to blink? Like you said, other than, clearing out a blocker, there's nothing, you're not going to flicker your opponent's stuff for value.
No, you're not.
What are you going to do, flicker their grief and discard a card?
I will flicker your solitude. Nothing bad will ever happen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Move to end step. No! What have I done?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what this is here for other than like we need dog card.
Yeah.
And then they're bringing back the elemental incarnations. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, they're not in like set proper. These are in the special guest slot, so the second bonus sheet or however that works. Yeah.
Yeah, second whatever
Whatever it is.
Remember when you knew what came in your pack? 15 cards from the current set.
Yeah. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Like, Pepperidge Farm remembers, exactly.
You said you thought this was a new one, right? I thought we already had this
yeah, I
one,
think so. So, Flare of Denial.
Mm-hmm.
1 blue, counter target spell.
Mm-hmm.
So, cancel.
Yep.
On the low end.
Yep.
But then it has... let me actually read this here. You may sacrifice a non-token blue creature rather than play this spell's mana cost. So it lets you counter it for free if you have a creature on board.
Right.
So like worst case scenario, it is just cancel, which like Force of Negation has shown us,
right,
that just having like bad negate is good enough.
Yep.
Right, on those times where you can't like pitch cast it, but this does give you a greater deck building constraint. Right, because Force of Negation in Modern and Force of Will and Legacy are always played in a stack of cantrip style decks.
Yeah.
And this is like, no, you have to have creatures. So like you are spending the mana for the card, but at a different time.
Right. Well, I mean, you can get a discount though if you have like a Slither Blade or something.
Yeah, like if you have like a Delver and then you sack your
Yeah.
Delver, like you're still technically 2-for-1ing yourself,
Right.
and you cost yourself that 1 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, maybe that 1 mana makes it so you don't lose the game,
Sure.
but you're still costing yourself that 1 mana. So like, kind of like a fish style deck. So
Mhm.
like Merfolk, or like some sort of blue-white death and taxes kind of something where you have like a large quantity of blue creatures.
Hang on just 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry about that. Mom's out of town,
Alright.
so I'm watching Chloe, and she got into something she shouldn't have gotten into.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's all right. Just wanted to take care of that real quick.
All right. So I think I know where I have to cut. So I was editing as we were going. Okay.
The next one's kind of a big. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one's kind of a big one here, both in statue and impact in the format. And we have Kappa Cannoneer here. If I can get it centered.
Yeah.
This card, until it got outclassed, was a big role player in Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Murktide took over for it? Is that what happened?
Kinda, yeah. Like,
was there, and then Modern Horizons 2 came out, and
or I think that this came out with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So did Modern Horizons 2 come out after Kamigawa or before?
I don't remember.
I feel like it may have been before. Like, I think the problem is a certain red and X card that is also legal in Modern now.
Oh, okay.
Right, like kind of put like the damper on the all artifacts deck.
Yeah.
But what does Kappa Cannon do for the uninitiated?
It's a 5 and a blue for a 4/4 artifact turtle warrior with improvise, so you can tap your artifacts to help cast it. Kind of like a fixed affinity. It has ward 4, so you're never gonna target it with anything. And when Kappa Cannoneer or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kappa Cannoneer, and it can't be blocked.
So it's effectively a 5/5.
Right.
Because it gives itself a counter when it comes in.
Yep.
Now, is one of the hottest decks in Modern right now Literal Affinity?
Mm-hmm.
That's pooping out constructs left, right, and center?
Absolutely.
Like, this guy just seems absurd in that.
Yeah.
Knowing that is like what one of the decks the format is about. And like, again, I think Thunder Junction's been out for like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe this like infatuation with Affinity will like go away.
I don't know. Like Kappa Cannoneer and the Synthesizer are kind of born to play together.
Oh yeah. What I was gonna say is like maybe they go away, but if they don't,
yeah,
right? Like this is just like, oh hey, like
this is what you should be
here's
doing.
a like way better. Basically, like the Legacy deck was this deck with like Chalice.
Yeah.
And otherwise kind of like it didn't have Synthesizer, which is like just a nutty card when you can like play Frogmites for free.
Right.
And then you play your Frogmite for free, and then that lets you play your like Sojourner's Companion or whatever for free.
Right.
Trigger, get a thing, tap them all.
Yep.
Make trigger, get a thing. It's like, no. So I think this card has a chance to be really good.
Me too.
And we have from time to time had other artifact decks. Remember there was the like Urza deck there for a while where we had like Urza made a construct and then you played like Gilded Goose because it made an artifact.
Yep.
And so like I guess I don't know how all the paying works. Like I don't know if you can like tap the food and then sack the food to have it count for 2. I don't know if you have to do that all at the same time. There might be like some weird timing rule.
I don't think you can sack the food.
Okay. Like, but because maybe you have to sack. It's a mana. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
but like there could be another like artifact adjacent deck that's not just like all in artifacts,
Right.
right? Like even something like Volder and Epicure into the stupid like 1/1 flyer that makes a map.
Yep.
Right, like you could be making your artifacts other ways,
Yep.
and then this guy just gets to come out for like 2 mana or 3 mana.
Yep. And then every time you
So
play one of your stupid tokens, it gets bigger and can't be blocked.
Yeah. Like I mean, if on the next turn you have a 6/6 unblockable ward for,
Right.
like your opponent loses the game rather quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you play this guy with a synthesizer and he's a 6/6.
Oh yeah.
And if you do like literal anything else the next turn, like he gets big.
Gets big in a hurry.
Yeah. Yep.
So
could be good.
Yeah. Could be very good.
This next one's a commander card. You want to talk about commander cards or skip it?
We can talk about commander cards. It's like I put in the show notes just that remember that there is randomly a Modern Horizons 3 set of commander decks.
Yes, there are.
For reasons.
Sure. Because every set needs commander decks now.
Needs a commander product. And it's not been made like abundantly clear if these are or are not modern legal.
That is true. I don't think it's been clarified. I would guess not, because
I would guess not as well.
I don't know why they would work differently than normal, but
it's also like really weird to like have a product that just like says modern in its name.
Right.
And then you go, no, you can't play them in the format that is on the box.
No, I mean, it's also weird that you open cards in a standard booster product that aren't legal in standard, but
exactly.
Here we are.
So this is where we live in.
Yep.
So what do we have here?
This is March from Velis Vel. 2 and a blue for a sorcery. Choose a non-basic land type. Each land you control of that type becomes a copy of target creature you control until end of turn and gains haste until end of turn. And flashback for 4 and a blue. This is a really weird card. So non-basic land type is like gates, caves, deserts.
Okay. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, so okay.
I think
so. This is
I think that's all of them, right? Gates, caves, and deserts. Horseshoes and blue moons. Lots of golden rainbow and the red balloons.
Lucky Charms. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think you're right. That might be all of them.
I'm sure someone's shouting at their headphones right now. No, you forgot. Fill in the blank.
Yeah. Is this kind of like Sylvan Awakening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of, sort
of. Like perhaps better in like some sort of ascendancy deck because you get to stay on color.
Yeah. Works a little bit different though. Yeah,
it does.
And like with Sylvan Awakening, sometimes those 2/2s don't really matter a whole lot. But if you make this, I don't know, a prime time, like that could get kind of nuts. A bunch of deserts in prime time and just like crash out and put every land in your deck into play.
Yeah, I was thinking more like, you have a. I guess it's like you're only 3 colors, and then I was like, oh, then you have like a Sylvan Caryatid, and you make all your lands that, then you cast like an opt.
Yeah.
And now they all untap. But yeah, like I wonder if there's like some blue creature that you would want, and just like, all right, now like these are all creatures they get to untap. Do they not stay lands? They become a copy of target creature. So do they no longer get to be lands?
I mean, it doesn't say that they're still lands, so.
Yeah, so maybe they wouldn't have their mana making ability, so they'd have to copy something that made mana.
Yeah.
Very weird card.
Very weird card. That's why it's a commander card.
It is, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
The next one is not, though.
Yeah, we have Recurring Nightmare at Home.
Yeah, Chthonian Nightmare.
Yeah.
1 and a black for an enchantment. And when it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. And you can pay X energy to sacrifice a creature, return Chthonian Nightmare to its owner's hand, and return target creature card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery.
So this is Recurring Nightmare, but with energy instead. And with the amount of power in ETBs and general nonsense in like 3 mana cards, right? Like, I feel like you can get up to something where this can like loop pretty easily. Right?
Yeah.
Like, is there like
I mean, it's kind of hard to loop because you still need like mana investment.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad, but
I was trying to think of like is there a card like Burning Tree Emissary that makes like black mana?
I don't believe so.
Because like, you know, you just have to generate 2 black mana, and then you can just like, you know, go infinite.
I think there's a brood pet.
Checking.
I don't know if it's modern legal or not, but
I'm spelling it wrong, maybe. But yeah, like 2 mana is not very much. There's also like enough stuff to
it's just
what's it
1
called?
black mana.
Okay. So like, you know, if you have something that makes an enchantment creature, an enchantment cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not that we haven't printed like a million of those as of late.
Right.
But like Recurring Nightmare was just this like value engine, and it like would kind of eventually get you to like, you could bring back a big thing, but you can just use it to like loop and like bring stuff back and generate value.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think that like basically this says like 2 mana, sack a creature, bring back something with mana value 3 or less. If you have ways to generate more energy to like get around this, I mean, like Attune with Ether
Rogue Refiner.
into Rogue Servant of the Conduit or something, right? So like you get up to 7 energy pretty quick.
Yeah.
But just have a way to put something in your graveyard. Or even like a 5-drop, and you're just like, you know, Attune with Ether, Persist, or no, unmarked. Is it Unmarked Gravestone?
Unmarked Grave, yeah.
Yeah, Unmarked Grave. Put my 5-drop in, and then like creature this, get it back. And we're thinking about this right now in terms of the cards that we currently know that make energy.
Correct.
Right? Like, who is there to say that there's not going to be like black make like 5 energy?
Right.
Like energetic ritual.
Sure. So I have like after we go through cards, I was going to have some baseless speculation here.
Okay, doke.
One of the things that was kind of part of that is, did we know that energy was going to be in Modern Horizons 3? I think we knew that it was going to be one of the commander decks, but I guess I wasn't aware that it was going to be in the set.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
So for it to be in the commander, like one of the commander decks be energy focused, and for this to be in the set, I'm assuming that there's going to be an energy theme kind of woven in the set.
Yeah, like you can't like have this card be like a one-off. Like it's a card that needs help.
Right.
So like, you can't just be like, here's this one energy card.
Mhm.
Like there's gonna be a bunch.
Yeah.
So yeah, there might be an energy theme, and energy is busted.
Mhm.
I mean, energy was, so we talk about like food was busted from Throne of
Throne,
Eldraine,
yeah.
right? Energy was more busted.
Yes.
And they have done it, they've not really done it since.
Right.
And so like I think that is a testament to like, we're not quite sure how to do this. So it does not take like but like a mana off of something.
Right.
Like to be like one mana off or even one energy off.
Mhm. For it to be broke.
Yeah, for it to break.
Yep.
So like I would keep an eye on, you know, energy cards. Like maybe it's time to dust off the long test cubs.
Maybe.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
hey, like
Dusky
let's get in
Boy.
there, guys. Bristling Hydra, like
I don't know. The
if you,
Bristling Hydra is quite modern playable, but
it might not be. But like, it I think Attune with Ether, like
Mhm.
if we have seen nothing from like the 1 mana basic land cyclers,
Yep.
right? Like Attune with Ether is like, if the energy is valuable enough, Attune with Ether is definitely modern playable.
I think so, yes. I mean, it's just
So
it always finds a land, but it's a cantrip that gets you 2 energy.
yeah, exactly. It is a land that gets you 2 energy. So
Mhm.
like, I mean, like, Lorien Revealed
Mhm.
is probably 70 or 80% of the time
Right.
get an island.
Yep.
Like, and like if you would have told people that that was good enough a year ago, they'd have been like, no.
Yeah.
But it's clearly shown itself to be good enough. So like, attune in a world where the 2 energy matters
Mhm.
has to be good enough.
Yep. I think so as well. Next up, we have another commander card. Did we already talk about this one?
I don't remember. So
Okay. This is Final Act. 4 black for a sorcery. And it's basically black's version of Farewell. Choose one or more. Destroy all creatures. Destroy all planeswalkers. Destroy all battles. Exile all graveyards. Each opponent loses all counters.
okay, so farewell is creatures, artifacts, enchantments, graveyards,
It's exile, so it does it
exile.
does it tag graveyards?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
think Farewell hits planeswalkers too.
uh so let's look. Farewell, artifacts, creatures, enchantments, graveyards.
Oh, okay.
No planeswalkers. So like, this has 1 extra mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's
2 extra
destroy
modes.
instead of 2. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's destroy instead of exile.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's gonna, if you choose the exile, it's gonna exile anyway, though. If you choose exile all graveyards, it's gonna exile whatever it blows up anyway.
Oh yeah, because it goes in that order. Yeah. Okay. Like farewell sees like legacy, like fringe legacy play,
Mhm.
right? Like, now like blue black control is not nearly the same as
Blue white.
blue white.
Yeah.
And like, the fact that like farewell also gets artifacts and enchantments is kind of a big deal.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, like this gets planeswalkers, so, and like battles don't matter currently, but might in the future.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We don't know what kind of battles we're getting.
Yeah.
Keep in mind this is a commander card, so it's not meant to be in.
Yeah, like I wonder if there's like a legacy deck, like some like I don't know, you wouldn't play like blue black control because like you don't have like little Teferi and the Wandering Emperor.
Right.
I mean, just wait, there'll be like evil Teferi or something.
Tiny Teferi.
Tiny evil, yeah. It's just Tiny Bones riding Teferi.
Right, yeah. Settled them right up.
It's He tapped. Paid his saddle cost. All right. This is we have Tarmogoyf at home. This is Nethergoyf.
Mm-hmm.
It is black for a Lorgoyf that is a star 1+ star
Mm-hmm.
for power and toughness. Nethergoyf's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has escape for 2 and a black. Exile any number of cards from your graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. So it's a Tarmogoyf that only cares about your side,
Right.
not your opponent's. Um,
And it has
I mean, it
escape,
can
so
get
it recurs, but it also probably makes it smaller.
I mean, the saffron olive Magic Christmas land was like fetch land, then like grief you, play Mishra's Bauble, then play this, and it's a 3/4 for 1,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty good. Like it still has like the Tarmogoyf problem of like no text, right? It's
Right.
just big,
Yeah, just big.
and like keyword big has not been. I mean, it's still good, but like it's been less good. I mean, it's 1 mana.
Yeah.
And like people were playing around with the goblin, the stalactite guy.
Yeah.
That had descend and you put a counter on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like people played around with it for a bit.
So
like
the other thing you could do with this guy is like Urza's Saga, because Urza's Saga is 2 types that goes to get a 3rd type.
Or Nameless Inversion.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was my first thought, was like, okay, what are like random, like what is the black tribal instant?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, Nameless Inversion. Well, that's
2
like
more
that's
types.
like that was a stress was a playable a modern card
at some point
in the last decade.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary. Like cons came in the fall. It'll be 10 years since cons.
Yep. Feel old yet?
Yeah. I'll be married for 10 years soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know. The card doesn't.
It doesn't seem very good.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like not for like modern Magic.
Yep. Lelia, we already talked about.
We did. So many arts.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
You alluded to this one earlier. Why don't you tell them about this one?
So this was like a $5 uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
It's Meltdown. It's X in a red for a sorcery. Destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. So this is red, destroy all your constructs.
Yes.
Which is like kind of its first job.
Yeah, I imagine this is just to be a check valve for that.
Yes, this is basically like, you know, if synthesizer is really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
We probably need to have Meltdown in the format. Or like if the other artifacts we put with Capacan in there are really, 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 really good, like Meltdown's here for that.
Yeah.
The problem is if those decks are like true affinity decks, right? Like maybe all you care about is killing the constructs, but like a bunch of like free 4/4s that you made
still gonna kill you
as you generated the because like you're not gonna get to like 7 in a red to kill like a Sojourner's Companion,
right?
You're just gonna be like, I guess I'll take 4, or like a Kappa Cannoneer. You're not gonna get to 6 realistically,
right,
to kill that. So, like, it is definitely here though for the like, you know, I'm gonna make 10 constructs and then you're just like gonna pay a mana like undo everything. But like, it's good for that.
So this theoretical deck, or I shouldn't say theoretical because it currently exists, but the new version. Well, no, I guess the current version. Is the current version a Chalice deck?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Oh, I guess it can't be if you're playing Urza Saga because you're getting one, like you're going to be playing one drops.
Yeah, but like you could play like zeros and ones and like not like you could just play like baubles
Yeah.
and like if you and then if you have like a pithing needle and a like shadow spear,
Yeah. Just
right?
as like
Like
one of
it,
targets.
yeah, like it would suck if you drew it, but it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like because Chalice X equals 2, I guess probably doesn't accomplish a whole lot, but would be backup plan if you top deck it to trigger your synthesizer.
Mm-hmm. Um, but like the awkward thing is like they can just make the meltdown whatever, so they could be like, you know, so they could make it like mana cost 3 and miss your chalice and kill it.
Yeah.
I think the artifact deck will be might be a chalice deck based on one of the cards that we have spoiled.
Okay.
But no, meltdown is that safety valve, and like I said, it recently was upwards of like $5 to $10.
Yeah.
Because it was only printed in Saga.
Yep.
And like there were a bunch of constructs running around.
Yep.
Because of Cadeneer.
Yep. All right. This is a reprint that's a commander card.
Okay.
Is this a reprint? Yeah, this is a reprint. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a reprint. Siege Gang Lieutenant, 3 and a red for a 2/2 goblin with Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create 2/1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Those tokens gain haste until end of turn, and you can pay 2 and sacrifice a goblin. Siege Gang Lieutenant deals 1 damage to any target.
Like it's the problem is there's Sling Gang Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And Siege Gang Commander.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
So I think this one is new, and this is like a hard commander card.
Yeah.
With the whole like so we're fine with this guy.
Yep.
Now the next one is what I thought you were talking about.
Nope. This is
the next one is Spawn Gang Commander. 3 red for an Eldrazi Goblin with the most elegant keyword, devoid. So it's colorless.
It is.
You're lying. Don't believe your lying eyes with those red mana symbols. Colorless.
Or the red border.
So this is a 2 in the red border. So this is a 2/2, and when it enters, when you cast the spell, it's a cast trigger.
Right.
Create 3/01 colorless Eldrazi spawn that have sack this creature, add a colorless, and then you can pay 1 in a wingding, 1 in a colorless to sacrifice an Eldrazi. And then sacrifice an Eldrazi. Spawn Gang Commander deals 2 damage to any target. So this is not super impactful, but this does have the sneaky text of this is a 2 mana 2/2. Right, because it gives you this 3 mana back.
Yeah.
Not that I think that's gonna matter, but it does have that sneaky thing you can do. And it's an uncounterable 3 mana back.
Right.
I mean, it's probably just like a limited card, but like I'm torn often of like, oh hey, I think this is kind of a funny name, but then when they do it on like every other card, you're like, this is less funny now.
Right.
But this is a pretty alright name.
I mean, Siege Gang Commander did see play at some point. I mean, not recently, but like that was a card. I mean,
he's been legal in Modern since Dominaria.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done a whole lot. And he's like, I guess this is still a goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, except Siege Gang made goblins, and this makes spawns.
Oh, yeah, it makes Eldrazi's.
And why couldn't have made Scions? Like the Scions at least would have been relevant, where the spawns
because they're 1/1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Like,
Scions
this
were too
is
good.
Too good.
Yeah.
I guess they still had the sack make a colorless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why we got Spawn instead of the other ones.
And this is the one that you said we already had?
This was like the first one of these, but I will put on our baseless speculation cap for a second.
Mhm.
So this is Flare of Cultivation, 1 green. You may sacrifice a non-green creature instead of paying the spell's mana cost. And then it is search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then put the other one in your hand. So it's Cultivate.
Mhm.
This card and another card that was spoiled recently are just bonkers with Veteran Explorer.
Yes.
And like Veteran Explorer seems of modern power level.
Mhm.
And like seems like a natural ally for this card and another card we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And would like put Nick Fit
Into modern.
Yep. Which would not be a bad thing.
No, I think that's a fun deck.
It's probably not good enough.
Yeah.
But like I think this card probably goes into Legacy Nick Fit.
Probably.
Like the turns that you go like Veteran Explorer, then this, and like untap with 5 mana on turn 2.
Bonkers.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I won.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if there's anything in my hand. I won.
Yep.
I'm going to cast a Tremoka now. All right, what's up next?
Next up,
Other than 85 versions of this card.
Yeah. We already talked about Priest of Titania.
Yes. The elfiest of elves.
Skip that one. Did we talk about...
this is a new one.
Okay, Sylvan Safekeeper. Another part of a very particular land strategy.
Very particular.
If you don't know Sylvan Safekeeper, this is... I don't remember his name.
It is an invitational card.
Yeah. The first
from
invitational card.
Yes, but...
Ole Rod?
Maybe?
It was the first invitational card. This is a green mana for a 1/1 human wizard, and you can has the ability sacrifice a land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn.
Yeah, look at you. Ale Rod is correct.
Man, that was way deep in there.
1997.
Another fun bit of trivia is this card was technically his card, but didn't come out until a few years later because at the time I don't think that he realized he could make a card as part of his prize.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was retroactively given to him.
Retroactively given to him?
Reason, yeah.
Oh, here it is. So it's like, however, Rod quit playing professional Magic shortly after the tournament without demanding his prize. When Rod made his comeback sometime later, he asked Wizards of the Coast if he could still design a card. Wizards agreed under the condition that Rod, since having shaven his head, would be depicted in his artwork with long blonde hair as he had when he won the tournament.
Okay.
That is according to the Magic Wiki.
Thank you, Magic Wiki.
So, due to the above circumstances, Sylvan Safekeeper was the 4th invitational card to cease print, despite Rod having won the first invitational tournament.
Yep.
There we go.
There you go.
So, 1, I'm glad I dumped my foils. 2, this art is way worse.
Yes.
So, when you play this card, Shroud, very different than Hexproof.
Yeah, Shroud means nobody can target it with anything.
No touchy for anyone.
Right.
Card is really good if you have like a creature that you need to protect for like a combo. Again, I just listened to a video, so I'm going to steal some of these. So you're playing Yogg.
Sure.
Right? You play like one of these, and your opponent's like, I don't know, Fatal Push your Yogg, and you're like, Cord for Sylvan Safekeeper, get wrecked, nerd.
Yeah, buddy.
Right? Or like, you have your Sylvan Safekeeper out, and then you like resolve your Yogg, and they're just like, oh, well, I guess I lose now.
Yep.
Like, do I have, I don't know, 8 removal spells to like target the Sylvan Safekeeper and then targeted in response to you sacking the land.
Right.
And if I run you out of lands, then I can get the Yogg. So yeah, like it is a very powerful card as just like a 0 mana protection spell.
Basically.
Right? Like, and sacking your land doesn't matter if you win.
That is true.
So
nobody's counting how many lands you have if you win.
Yeah, so like I think definitely a card that we'll probably see play.
Unless you're playing Gates.
Then that matters.
Yep.
Can't sack your gate.
Yep.
I mean, you can make them you could make them all copies of Sylvan Safekeeper.
Oh man. But then they wouldn't be lands to sacrifice.
Oh, that's a good point. Man, layers. Okay.
But then you'd need a Shaya to make them all lands again.
Oh. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's not make that deck.
Okay. I agree. Let's
not get on Arena.
To figure out how it works.
It's Sir Barrington.
Sir Barrington. So it was a Modern Horizons 1 we got Ayula, Queen of Bears, and now we have Kudo, King of Bears. Green white for a 2/2, like you do when you're a bear. It's a bear. And other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears.
Basically, this is kind of like Lion King. Everywhere where the light touches shall be your kingdom.
Bears, as far as you can see.
All bears.
Yeah.
I did see a funny TikTok where someone was like, I feel as though you should be able to rule 0 the fact that Ayula and Kudo should have partners with.
Yeah.
And like they can be your commanders in your bear deck. Like, I'm down with that.
Sure.
We should have brought out those cards immediately.
I think so.
We've had other cards like this. There was that like Archon thing from that like made everything 3/3s, made everything elk basically.
Yep.
And like it just makes everything trade. Right?
Unless
like,
you have a lord.
Unless you have they're gonna give us a bear lord?
Probably.
Bob. Bear down Bob. Or like a human bear hybrid that gives everything +1/+1. But like it like simplifies the board, but also makes it so like no one has an advantage.
Right.
Which like I guess if you're behind is great, but if you're ahead is less good. Though like with Ayula, if all of your creatures are bears,
yeah,
and then every time you play something they get counters or they fight.
Seems all right.
It seems good.
So
they keep their abilities. So you get
power level, but
no, like, but you could have flying bears.
Yeah,
you can have first striking bears.
Good.
Trample bears. Trample bears just should go without saying.
Forest walk bears.
Forest walk bears.
Yeah.
So
reaching bears.
It's a weird card. Reaching bears. Cocaine bears.
Yeah.
You know.
You put a stun counter on them, they'd be hibernating bears.
Yeah, dude. Wizards, call us. You just want puns and stupid crap now.
Yeah.
Like, we can give this to you. I'm a dad. I have dad jokes now. So, yeah, like, it's cute, but definitely not modern power level.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I will probably give Tom one of these to cut my hair.
Seems like the perfect use for Kudo.
Yes. All right, what do we got next?
More Kudo.
Old border Kudo. Promo Kudo.
Yeah. Psychic Frog. We talked about this one already?
Before. Oh. This was an old one.
I didn't remember that one. Boy, that's some art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That'll send you to nightmares.
Scurry of Gremlins. Did we have this one?
We had this one.
Okay.
I don't know if we talked about it, but yeah, we had it.
Okay.
So it's.
Do we need to talk about it?
Nah.
All right. This is the other card that kind of stood out to me during these spoiler, not spoilers. And this is White of the Reliquary. Green black for a 2/2 zombie knight with vigilance. White of the reliquary gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. And you can tap it and sacrifice another creature to search your library for a land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
Again, amazing with Veteran Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
It like feeds itself, but then goes and gets something that doesn't like really relate to it. Like Knight of the Reliquary is like, get rid of a land so I get bigger,
Right.
but then go get a thing that you can then feed to me later.
Yep.
Knight
doesn't get any land though, does it? I thought it only got forests and plains.
It still gets forests and plains,
Yeah.
I do believe. Or do you sack forests and plains?
Is that what it is?
I think. Let's look here. Knight of the Reliquary surveys says maybe not. Survey is not saying.
Okay.
Survey's broken. But I mean, it's neat. Like it's hard though. Like for the there it is. Sacrifice a forest or plain. Search your library for a land card. Put it on the battlefield. Yeah. So the restriction is on the sack.
Gotcha.
Well, like, again, saffron olive thing, Bloodghast plus this.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
Plus, Retreat to Korrahelm goes infinite.
Oh yeah, it does. Get all your lands.
Yeah, but Knight of the Reliquary and Korrahelm just go infinite by themselves.
True.
Yeah. Like, it is awkward that like it gets a thing that doesn't then allow it to like continue to feed itself. But like,
unless you get a colony garden.
Colony garden, or my thought was arbor, dried arbor.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because like you can sack the dried arbor to make it bigger.
Yep.
And then go get your next thing.
Yep. Or if you have something that's animating your lands.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's in green black, so you know, maybe I'll play it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Emrakul we already had.
We already had Emrakul. So many versions.
So many versions. Did we have Harrogast?
This guy's new.
This guy's new. Okay, let's get the non-weird version.
So old. Let's get the non-weird version.
All right, so this is Harrogast Erupting Nullkite, 9 mana for a 6/6 legendary Eldrazi dragon. And it has Emerge. I don't know how many people have played with Emerge. Probably quite a bit, because it's on Arena now, right?
Yeah, Elder Deep friends there.
Elder Deep Fiend, yep. This is Emerge 6 red. So as you cast it, you can sacrifice a creature, and the Emerge cost gets reduced by that creature's mana value. And then when you cast this spell, you may exile your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. It has flying. And each creature spell you cast has Emerge, with the Emerge cost equal to its mana cost. Is that worth anything?
I mean, you might be able to do like busted stuff where you're able to like chain a bunch of like creatures together. Particularly like colorless creatures.
Yeah.
Right. You like take some 7-drop that gets you, I don't know, draws you 2 cards, and then you like emerge something off of it. Like you emerge the next one and you draw 2 more cards for free.
Yeah. Does Burning Tree become mana positive?
No, because its casting cost is just is colored mana. So right, the emerge cost only reduces the colorless mana, right?
It's not what it says.
Oh
yeah, I guess mana value refers to converted mana cost, which would be okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so like this having a merge of like 6 or 8, was it 6 red?
Yeah.
Old man can't read
Could
small
only
things.
ever get down to red.
Exactly.
Yep.
So like you'd have to have colorless things that you could.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could. Would like a second one of these have 2 emerge costs? So like, could you emerge another one of these for free by just eating this one?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're like, I don't like these 3 cards, but I drew one of these, so I'll just emerge this again and draw 3 more cards.
Trade it in, sure.
Yeah.
Seems like a thing you could do.
Don't know if it's a good thing to do, but it's a thing.
It is a thing. Then we have
Again, another like not modern power level.
Yeah. It That Heralds the End.
We had this one before.
We did have this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one?
This one's new.
Okay.
This one's definitely
Go
new.
for it.
This is Null Elemental Blast. So it's Wingding for an instant. And choose one. Counter target multicolored spell. Destroy target multicolored permanent. So this is kind of your red elemental blast, blue elemental blast, but it's the colorless version.
Yep.
So apparently the opposite of colorless is colorful.
Multicolored.
Yes. This seems like a card that will have very specific times where it's just like amazing in the format.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, there's gonna be some like the number of like 2-color legends that they print that are just like absurd. Like Omnath.
Well, I mean, this hits like all of the Cascade spells, right?
Oh, I guess it does, yeah. Well,
Well,
does it matter because you already got to do the thing?
oh, that's true. That's true.
But like Omnath, like
Mm-hmm.
the Risen Reef, what's his name? The like the 4/1 that like whenever you cast a spell, it makes like a golem.
Mm-hmm.
General Rockerick or something.
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's a number of things this can hit. Territorial Kavu.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a card that like, if these are at all cheap, you like get some, because there will like come a point where it's a card that like, where the metagame shifts to like, this is a card that like sees play.
Yeah, I think it's a card that's probably tough to reprint too.
Mm-hmm.
So not that matters a whole lot anymore with the way that they reprint things, but this especially I think is a tough one to reprint. And I could definitely see this heading in the direction kind of like I ended up with Bloodbraid Elves, where there was a while where they were super cheap and I'd just like tack a couple on every time I made an order, and ended up with a bunch of them, and then maybe your nickels turned
something
into
happened
dollars.
where they went to like $5. Yeah. Like they print like, again, some crazy elemental that goes with Omnath really well, and it's like, oh, I need to play this in my Tron deck to be able to like not die to this Omnath thing or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Bombnath.
And Null Drifter, we had this one, right?
No, this one's new.
It is new? Okay. 7 mana, 4/4 Eldrazi Elemental. When you cast this spell, draw 2 cards. It has Flying and Annihilator 1. Man, it's been a long time since I saw Annihilator on a card.
Yeah.
Annihilator, for those that don't know, is whenever this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices a number of permanents equal to the Annihilator number. And because this is a play on Muldrifter, it also has Evoke 2 and a blue.
Yeah. So the big difference between this and Muldrifter is Muldrifter you can flicker and draw more cards. This only draws cards when it's cast.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So like you would still draw the cards off the Evoke, but if you then flickered it,
right,
you would not get more cards.
Right.
That said, you would end up with a 4-mana 4/4
Annihilator
that drew you a card effectively, because you had to spend the flicker card that has Annihilator.
Yep.
Like a much faster clock than a Mall Drifter,
Oh yeah.
and like it seems like they're bringing back a merge.
Mhm.
This is a great thing to emerge.
Oh sure.
Also, like if you have like an Elder Deep Fiend or something, like you can flash the Deep Fiend in
With
and emerge it off of this on with the evoke trigger on the stack.
yeah.
Now it might just be like tapping creatures to like get in a big attack or something as opposed to like lands, but
Mhm.
it is a thing.
It is the thing.
Like this seems interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know about good, but interesting. Time will tell
Yeah.
if it's good or not.
How do you feel about the like old border, colorless border? Like I'm torn. Like I kind of think it's cool, but I kind of don't.
I think it's cheesy, is what I think.
Okay.
It is kind of cool, but it's also something that Wizards, I think, just ripped off of the proxy community.
Okay. No, this was like a proxy thing that happened.
Yeah, some of the proxy artists had made like OG colorless cards in the vein of like old borders, like a long time ago. And then I think Wizards did it with one of the secret layers, and I think it was like just somebody's border that they used.
Wow. Okay.
And I believe this is the same as that card.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of cool, but also kind of cheesy. Like I wish they came up with something a little bit more unique than just a gray
Yeah.
artifact frame. Because I think the
Mm-hmm.
texture is even the same as the artifact frame.
It might be. Yeah.
We have Winter Moon. This is a new
Mm-hmm.
one. 2 mana artifact. Players can't untap more than one non-basic land during their untap steps. So somewhere in between Blood Moon and Winter Orb.
Yeah. Like it'll slow you down, but not lock you out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And much like Blood Moon, it punishes you for a greedy mana base.
Yep.
So like if you're like a mono white deck, you can play this and slow down your like domain opponent.
Yep.
Because they like are not going to untap many of their lands on a one big spell a turn or something.
Oh, you know what I just noticed?
What?
The flavor text.
Uh
The Sun and Moon have decided to make a complete competition of our misery from Narrownin, comma, veteran explorer.
oh. Um Interesting.
Yep. Interesting. And then the lands we had.
There's one land we didn't, two lands we didn't. So
Okay.
there are two new lands. So they're the two colorless lands.
Okay, so the fetch lands we already had. We're getting allied fetches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This one of them. This is a commander land.
It's commander land.
You want to talk about that one or skip it?
We can skip it.
Okay.
We're already an hour in.
Okay.
There are two Ugin lands. There's an Ugin land and an Urza land.
Snow Cover Waste we already knew about.
Yes, we knew about that one.
Ugin's Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, this is a mythic. It must be good.
Mm-hmm.
What's Ugin's Labyrinth do?
So it's a land. It's not a legendary land for some reason, but it's a land. It has imprint.
Mm-hmm.
When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a colorless card with mana value 7 or greater from your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the land taps for colorless for Wingding. But if there is something exiled with Ugin's Labyrinth, it taps for 2 Wingding.
Oh, okay.
And it also has tap, remove the exiled card, return the exiled card to owner's hand.
Oh, so you can get it back later on when your mana base is caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is
So
good.
you can like exile a Karn.
Yeah.
And play a Chalice.
Oh yeah.
On turn 1.
Holy moly.
And then when you've assembled Tron,
yeah,
you can
get it back and play
tap.
it.
So it also it makes your card susceptible to land destruction, right? Ghost Quarter.
Right, but it also
Field of Ruin.
makes it Thoughtseize proof.
Thoughtseize proof. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like you can hide a card that you're like oh man, like I'm gonna like I've got like turn 4 Karn rolled up,
Yeah.
right? But I want to make sure I don't get Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put it under Ugin's Labyrinth, and then use it to like get ahead on mana.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm wondering if like in Legacy, like you have to play big things, but like if you're playing effectively 20 soul lands in an Eldrazi deck,
Yeah.
right? You're always gonna have, right, like Ugin's Labyrinth plus like giant monster,
Right.
right? You're either gonna have Ugin's Labyrinth plus giant monster to like have a soul land,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna have one of the other like 12 soul lands that you get to play like in Eldrazi Town,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna like always be like 2 mana land, 2 mana land. It's always gonna be like Thought.Seer into Reality Smasher,
Yeah.
and like Chalice Thought.Seer Reality Smasher, like over and over and over again.
Seems good.
Yeah, and this is like kind of nutty and modern, right? We went through all of this like we don't want to have mana acceleration,
Mm-hmm.
and then here's a soul land,
Here you go.
but it takes work. It's like, yeah, but you also gave me a Mole Drifter
So does
that also
Mox
works with
Diamond.
this. Yes, and Mox Diamond is busted.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's one more.
One more. Urza's Cave.
Yeah.
So this is a land Urza's Cave. That's weird. So it's a cave.
It's a cave,
I
I
guess.
guess. Yeah.
The land type is Urza's Cave. That's strange.
Yeah, so it is strange.
But, well, that's, I guess this is another type of land that other thing affected.
Mm-hmm.
You can tap it for a colorless, and you can pay 3 and sacrifice it to search your library for land, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
It's an uncounterable Sylvan Scry.
It is uncounterable Sylvan Scry.
Now, it's twice as much mana.
Yeah.
Because you've got to tap this plus 3, but like you just get to put a Sylvan Scrying
Mhm.
in your mana base.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Like in Legacy, like again, maybe Depths, but like Cloud Post,
Yeah.
just way more clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Way more posts. Like, yeah, this seems like pretty strong for an uncommon.
Yeah.
So this one I was like, ooh, like, do you play one of these in Depths? Like, this could be good.
Yeah. And that's it.
And I think that's it.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. So some interesting cards.
Yep.
Like, I feel like they're like some of like the Ugin land or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just feels like absurd.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. I think we covered most of the other like inferences or speculation like while we were talking about the cards, except for one.
Okay.
I think when we did both of our other MH3 preview episodes, or when we talked about them, we had mentioned another card that might make its way into Modern.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time for Crop Rot?
I mean,
we definitely have a lands theme.
Yes, they definitely are trying to make lands happen.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. Like, it's hard because that card is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the rest of Modern is so, like, absurdly powerful.
Right.
Like, and same with, like, Legacy. Like, crop rotation has kind of, like, been power crept out of Legacy to some degree.
Yeah.
Right, so, like, maybe Modern's the place for it to go. Right, like, are we to the point where, like, we can unban Dark Depths?
I don't know, are we?
I feel like with
it's hard to say.
Solitude.
I was just going to say, it's hard to say that Mom would be a problem with Solitude running around.
Yeah, like, you have Solitude, you have all this, like, other, all these other cheap interactive like bounce spell kind of things. Like it doesn't seem like Dark Depths would be too much, but it might just one of those things they don't want to like risk it.
Yeah.
Maybe they do like a knockoff Dark Depths.
Didn't we already have knockoff Dark Depths?
Not with. Did we?
Barret Lage's Slumber?
Yeah, but that like cared about artifacts and stuff. Like a land
Well, yeah,
that
it
is
was an
like somehow like
enchantment,
yeah. Yeah, but like maybe they do some like you make a 10/10.
Yeah.
Or you
Maybe.
like it makes a smaller creature, it has less counters on it or something.
Something.
Where it's like you still get to do that thing, but it's not like just win the game.
Yeah.
Maybe it has like trample and like ward 8 or something, or ward 3. Right? It doesn't have indestructible or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, like it would be interesting. Like you could definitely have a like they've got so many powerful lands that like it seems like they would want you to find them.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not.
Although that might
I'm
be
not
kind of
sure.
gross for Tron.
Yeah, well, like you can't like. It would encourage you to play more forests because like you don't want to sack a Tron land.
Right.
So like you play more like forests, or like, if you can keep more hands that are like 2 of the same Tron land and like a star.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, okay, like sack my star, get a green.
You can you sack an Urza's Saga with the counter on the stack?
Yes, with the trigger on the stack, you can.
So I mean that's a thing you could do.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
Very interesting.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
It seems like it would be fine.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard because I feel like the formats are so powerful now.
Well, I mean, it's also hard because we've been checked out of Modern for a while. Much.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So with all this, I think we got a show. So if you got ideas on crop rotation or anything else Modern Horizons related or anything Magic related,
anything in general,
let us know. Facebook, Discord, X, email, all that stuff's in the description. Check it out. Say hey.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you want to hear about. If you want to support the show, you can do it with our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, do your shopping, and support us at the same time. Or Patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG if you want to support us directly and get access to our show notes. And
you want to try that again? You were cutting out there.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. You can wait. Which part? All of it?
Kind of all of it, yeah.
Okay. If you want to support the show, you can do so via our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, and you get access, or you can support the show while doing your normal shopping. If you want to support us more directly, Patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG, and you'll get access to our show notes and our pre-show, about another hour's worth of content out of us every week. Chip a couple bucks in and help support the show and get access to some more content.
Yeah, so with that, we'll catch you on the internet.
We'll catch you on the internets.